you want to visit the coast of Kenya and experience our beach area, this video is for you. In this video, I'm also going to be answering how much it costed me and my sister, or my sister and I, to backpack the coast of Kenya for a whole month. Actually, to be precise, for 33 days. I'm going to share all the gist, all the information you need to know as you backpack the coast of Kenya. Stay tuned and let's get straight into the video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, my name is Damaris Jenga. I create travel and lifestyle videos, and I'm always excited to bring to you all the tips, tricks, and everything you need to know for you to travel around anywhere I have been to. Now let's get straight into this video. You're planning to visit the coast, let's say maybe not for such a long time, but you love it if you go for like a whole month. It's beautiful, it's lovely. So I'm going to share with you all the things that you need for you to understand. Let's put some things in line. When you're talking about budget, it is you as an individual to know what is a budget to you, because what could be a budget to me could be high amount of price or luxury for someone else, and what could be budget for me could be like the opposite. So it's you to define what budget is for you. But in this video, I'm going to try my best to break down how you can use less than 50,000 Kenya shillings or 50 Kenya shillings, which is like 50 Kenya shillings, which is like $500 for you to go around the coast of Kenya.
I can't even believe that it took me a while for me to know how much that calculation. Anyway, let's get straight into the video.
Now, so for us to talk about the budget, you're going to break down this whole travel on a budget concept into 4 very key areas when you're traveling. And the first one is transport. Then after that, we're going to talk about accommodation. We're also going to talk about food. We're also going to talk about fun. And we're going to break down how you can have the best experience for you in Mombasa. Now, let's get started. On transport, I'm going to make the assumption of you have already landed in Kenya. I'm not going to get into the details of you flying from wherever you're coming from to come to Kenya. If you're Kenyan, maybe you are out of far away from Nairobi or wherever. So I'm just going to talk about all of us. Our area is Nairobi, so you can find any airline and all that transport I have not covered in this budget. Now, for transport, once you're in Nairobi, or assuming you're in Nairobi, if you're in Mombasa, well and good. If you flew directly to Mombasa, well and good. But if you're in Nairobi, my recommendation and what I used is the SGR, which charges like 1,000 Kenya shillings. I didn't use the first class, which is 3,000 Kenya shillings, still on a budget, so you can opt to use either of the two. I found SGR to be convenient because you save up on time and it's less tiring compared to a bus, because a bus is like 8 hours. And then you also get to have a different whole experience. Now that's transport for you to move from Nairobi to Mombasa. When you get to Mombasa, you can always use public transport moving around Mombasa. Now, like from Mombasa to Malindi to Kilifi to Diani, I would highly recommend using matatu. They're easily affordable, and you can easily find your way access through. So if you're not able to know where are you going to figure out where the vehicles are, definitely consult the locals, and the best person to ask is maybe someone who took you from one place to another. Like, those people are very, very informative when it comes to giving you directions on what you should board and all that stuff. So we actually used that method and it helped us. Now, when you're not like moving from a very far distance, maybe you want to go do your shopping and stuff, I would highly recommend you use things to do with like tuk-tuk, motorcycle, or boda boda, which are easily found here. You can also, if it like in the coast, I would not even recommend you using any app. Just to go out, find wherever you want to go, tell them, and then they'll be able to figure out the place you're going. If they don't know, now that's when you go to your Google map, and then you're able to figure out the place you want them to go. Now, after that, you can also use apps if you find that more convenient, but definitely you can't go to the coast and fail to use a tuk-tuk. It's the main form of transportation there, which are actually affordable. Like, for example, moving from one place to another, like from our hotel or our Airbnb to go shopping, it's like 50 Kenya shillings, which is pretty affordable.
Okay, someone told me you shouldn't be saying cheap. It's pretty
affordable. Yeah, so that you have sorted your transport and you're able to move at such an affordable price. And the maximum for transportation, coming from Nairobi to Mombasa, that's like 2,000, and then you add up whatever amount, maybe from one place to another. The total to that cannot be more than 10,000 Kenya shillings for you to move around the coast. So in this case, I'm not talking about Lamu, because Lamu is like a whole different distance away from backpacking, from all the way from Wasini all the way to Malindi. Now, without further ado, let's get to accommodation, which is actually my favorite part, because this is where you get to splurge as much as you want, or you get to be on a budget as much as you want. So like from zero to whatever, infinity. Now we're talking about the budget, and I would recommend like 3 or 4 ways that I used for us to save up on excuse me, 3 or 4 ways we used for us to reduce on our accommodation budget. So number 1, which I love, is you can use Airbnb. I greatly recommend you use Airbnbs, because you can be able to see what you're getting at whatever price. Value for money is a very key thing for me when I'm traveling or anytime I am leaving. So yeah, like you're able to know what am I getting with this amount and all that, and you can get houses as little as $10, which are pretty good. Or you can also use hostels in the coast. I have done a lot of videos showing you places you can go and backpack in hostels. The good thing with hostels, you meet other travelers and you're able to like combine and get other things that you can also do on a budget together. Like that's a good way to cut down on costs. So definitely hostels. If you don't use hostels, the other way is you can go and use couch surfing, which is actually something I tried. Let me combine couch surfing and maybe relatives or people or a friend you know in the coast. You can go and spend like a night, which I'm not the biggest fan of spending in a relative's place or a friend's place, because they feel like you came there for you to have fun, not necessarily to visit. So I tend to always love to differentiate and separate the whole two different. But I love couch surfing because you get to interact with the locals who are interested in hosting travelers. That's why I love it. Now another way is you can go to a walk-in hotel and just booked. I also did that, which I am grateful also for all the hotels we were able to work with, all the Airbnbs. I greatly appreciate, and I hope you checked out those videos. If you didn't, link in description, and you can have an idea of places you can spend. So on accommodation, you can go as little as 0 Kenya shillings, but I always say this: if you're using couchsurfing, always have a backup. In terms of maybe your couchsurfer can fail, or even if you're using like hostels or whatever, always have like a backup in terms of like money. You can get a place to sleep so that you don't end up sleeping outside. Now without further ado, now let's get to food. If you have watched my videos, you know I am a big fan or advocate of street food. Now I have a rule when I'm backpacking somewhere. I'd rather sleep on the floor and eat just like relatively good food and experience like memories I will never, like have activities that I will never ever have anywhere else. So like I'm not a big, like you'll not find me going to very like luxurious places at the expense of foregoing an activity. Now that's why I recommend you try street food. Street foods are good if the only way for you to make sure you don't get poison and everything. Now when it comes to food in terms of budget, however amount you are to eat wherever you are, let's say for example at your home place, in a day you use like 1,000 Kenya shillings, so like $10 in a day. Also when you travel, try and make sure that is your budget. Also avoid things like alcohol and stuff. That's where your budget goes way out of being on a budget anymore. Now let's talk about activities. I have also done a whole video on some of the activities you can do for free, and I have actually highlighted a very good video on things you can do in Malindi, in Kilifi, in Mombasa, in Diani, that you can definitely do for free, and some that you can pay. Now for me, what I would highly recommend if you're going to the coast, this activity you cannot fail to do. I loved it. I would recommend anyone to go and enjoy watching the dolphins snorkel. That's like the tick when you go to the coast, the first list you tick. And yeah, so also depending on how much amount of money we are budgeting, you're talking about, is when you can consider things like kite surfing or speedboat, you know, all those things. Yeah, so that brings me to the main question on how much did we spend in the cost. Now, first I want to say thank you so much to everyone who worked with me and brought this whole travel to a dream. Like, it was a dream to reality. I am so grateful and I thank you so much. I don't know, it's hard for me to figure out and just say this is the total amount of money we use, because at some places we did not necessarily do our own payment, but I'll give you an estimate of little mathematics and see how much in total that is. Now, let me also highlight some of the mistakes we did on this trip. When you're visiting the coast of Kenya and you're like wanting to backpack, I would highly recommend you start from one direction and you proceed all the way to the end, and then from there you can embark to your location. Like, for example, you can decide if you just want to go, if you want to go up to Lamu, you can just start from Diani, proceed all the way through Kilifi to Mombasa, Kilifi, and then you make it your way to Malindi and Lamu. So don't make the mistake that we did of us going, like today we are in Diani, then we have to jump to Malindi, then later come to Diani again. So you can try and make it more continuous, and then you can have a good time. So our total costs, I'd say for transport we'd give it something like 10,000 as we had agreed, and then accommodation, I try my best never to go beyond 2,000 Kenya shillings. So for 30 days, that's 60,000. And then for food, actually I don't necessarily count food because my head is like, food, whatever I've eaten, it's relatively the same way, because like in Airbnbs you can cook and all that. So for food I calculate it to be, let's say, I don't need that much, so like 500, because we are to like 1,000. So 1,000 times 30, so that's 30,000. Activities, let's say 20,000. No, it didn't get to 20,000. Maybe 15,000. So I'd say for 30 days we used 115,000 Kenya shillings. So in total we used like 115,000 Kenya shillings. Now divide by 2, that's relatively 50,000. I hope now you have an idea how much you need for you to backpack the coast, all you need, and a little tip here and there on how you can backpack the coast of Kenya on such an easy, affordable budget. I hope guys you enjoyed this video. I look forward to you visiting the coast. I look forward to you tagging me and having a really good time when you visit the coast. And guys, do not forget to enjoy your trip when you visit, because it is all about the experiences that you create. It is not about the money, the amount of money you made. It's about how did you interact with the locals, how did you spend your time, did you enjoy eating the Swahili food. Like, you know, some of these things the budget is zero, but you get to have like memorable experiences for the rest of your life. So go there with whatever amount of money. You can always work with whatever you have. So even if it means you visiting the coast for like 3 days, of course that will be a cheaper budget, you know, and have a good time as you continue exploring and having fun. So I hope you're inspired to pack now and get ready for your coast trip coming soon. I had fun creating this video and breaking down to you how much I made I used to travel the coast, and I hope you did too. And thank you so much to all my Patreons. You can also join the Patreon community down there. And guys, without further ado, please click on these other videos and you can get to have an experience of things to do in the coast, have an idea of what I am talking about with this whole coast 30-day experience. And I hope guys you enjoyed this video, and we continue with the challenge of daily uploads till the end of 2020, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.